Hello, I'm Grady Matthews with Buddy the Rifleman Hall. We are preparing to do a player review on a match that the two of us played, and I think you'll find it enjoyable and edifying. Buddy, you played really well during the course of that match.
Well, I thought we had a real good match all the way through. I like this opening freezer. Isn't that wonderful? I mean, that's really a picture of two good friends.
Yes, it is. And you went ahead and KO'd me anyway. So it was very fitting. Okay, you win the lag here.
I seem to be having a lot of trouble with the break at the start of this match. I kept going in the hole.
I think I've seen more scratching on the break here than any tournament I've ever been at. Now, I don't know what to attribute that to. Okay, I remember this. I didn't like my chances of banking the ball and getting on the 2-ball, and I decided to play a safety here. It was pretty easy. I've got 3 balls to get behind. I've got the 2, 8, 9, which are around the area of the spot. So I've really got about a good 10 or 12-inch area to snooker you.
Right.
And I know what happens after this, too.
Did you leave me a gap there? Could I jump that ball?
I don't think you jumped this.
Oh, I kicked 3 rails at this shot. Yeah, I remember now.
I know I got a ball in hand here. And the 3-ball is a ball that's by the far right-hand corner pocket. And I remember this. I missed this 1 ball with ball in hand, and I'll explain why when we get to it.
I remember this shot. I miscued on this shot.
You miscued, right.
I miscued here. Scott walked down. I was trying to spin hard out of this upper corner and try to catch the side of the 1 and maybe make the 5.
Sure.
You know, just trying to get lucky there.
Now, I missed this ball. I still would play it again the same way if I had it. But see where the 3 is? I tried to take a slight angle. That's the 4-ball right by the 1. And all I wanted to do was move the 4 over, an inch or 2 to give me a little wider area to get on the 3-ball.
Right, and also open up the corner pocket up there for the 4.
Right.
I seen what you were trying to do here, and it seemed to me like it was the perfect shot to shoot.
I didn't have to do that. I'm embarrassed that I missed a ball in hand shot like this.
Well, you didn't nip the 4. Yeah, I think you were trying to nip the 4 here. Or this ball was right beside the 1, and I don't think you touched it, did you?
No. Obviously, I hit it too thick.
Right.
Okay, it's your shot. And I know I win the first game for some reason, and I don't know why. You're going to play this, shoot this 1 and get perfect on the 2-ball and get nice position on the 3. And I don't remember what happens after that.
I don't either, but I remember having to play between the 4 and 5 for the 3. Right. I think I tried to come back down.
Well, you got a nice angle here on the 2-ball, one where you could just punch the cue ball out. That's a perfect angle. And all you had to do was just go beyond the spot a little bit. Just like that, you did it very nicely. And of course, the first game, you always like to win that.
Yeah.
A lot of times the first game dictates kind of what's going to happen the whole match. Oh, I remember what happened here.
Yeah.
You decided, now this is one of the few times in the match that I personally didn't like your shot selection. You decided to lag this ball in and take what I thought was a fairly tough shot on the 5.
Right, right. I didn't see much else to do with it, though. I know the table comes that way a little bit, so I played to the outside to give me a deeper ball with a cue ball. And here I hit the shot soft, and I think it came to the right on me just a little bit. I may have just missed it, but I think it come to the right on me just a hair. Of course, I hit it pretty solid, so I probably just missed it.
Well, what a lot of people don't realize, buddy, sometimes the cue ball will move just as you hit it. Haven't you hit a lot of balls that you could swear you hit well enough to make it, and they don't go?
Right. I played position on balls that had pockets, and then I get to the shot, and it didn't have a pocket, too. I've done that.
Sure.
I think, what, did the ball move?
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm in good shape here. All I really got to do is make the 6 here, and I got a nice angle. That's a little sharper angle than I meant to come off the
Yeah,
rail.
but when you're close to it, you have good cue ball. It's really hard for you to do something wrong here. About the only thing that can happen bad to you there is the 7 scoot on you or something like that.
Well, I used outside English. It's hard for it to do that. And I'm in pretty good shape. I can do this 2 or 3 different ways.
Which that's the proper way.
Yeah, I agree.
That's error-free way to do it there. The only way you can mess up there is just not hit it hard enough or just haul up and hit it too hard.
Sure, that's a good point, buddy. A lot of guys will draw that ball, and there really isn't any reason to do it.
Right, you have to hit that shot with a good stroke. This shot here, you just lag it.
And you can miscue sometimes.
Right.
Now, I don't remember what happened if I make a ball here or what. I have moved over to the side with my break. I think I broke the balls all right in this match.
I was saying something there. I don't know what it was.
Okay, I make a ball. Oh, I remember this. Sure, this gets where all I have to do is hit the 1 into the 3, which is the outermost ball of those 3 balls by the far pocket. If I can hit the 3 here, it's pretty hard to miss. Now, I'm a little fortunate there. The 1 didn't have to end up as well as that. So I'm a little fortunate there. Now, I got a half a pocket on the 3. I remember this shot. And I decide to not take an angle, but just try to get pretty much straight in on the 3 where I can draw back.
Yeah, you hit it well, too. You came almost to the 6 here. You executed this rack real well.
Well, I didn't want to be too far from the 5.
Right, you hit that ball. I mean, that's picture perfect right there.
And I've learned a lot from you about playing 9 ball. I don't mess around with any side pockets or anything. Here, I just stop the ball because that's all I really got to do.
Right. I think a lot of up and young coming players, they have a tendency to play the side pockets too much. See, when you're playing corner pockets, you can play to the left or to the right. When you're playing side pockets, if you happen to get a little off angle or something like that, your problems, that's where you create your problems.
Now, this shot here, buddy, I think the cue ball's a little light. Obviously, I don't want to come that close to the 8. I want to be about a foot away from it. And I could have got tied up or something there.
Right, but the advantage you have coming the direction you were coming right on line with it.
True.
So
true.
If you bump it, you would have had to really been hard luck to stay right on top of it and not had any shot.
Sure. Well, a lot of people misunderstand that when you hit a ball real softly, you figure to have a shot.
Right.
I mean, if there's not many balls on the table or anything.
Right, unless you hit just right dead on top of the ball.
Okay. So I'm leading 2-0 at the moment. And I wouldn't have minded that particular trend continuing, but it didn't happen. That's Efren Reyes that you see there, and Jackie Moeller.
Yeah, and he's playing Jimmy Mathews, who, by the way, played one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. I get to watch just a little bit of it while you were shooting. Jimmy made 1 error, left Efren 1 open shot in the whole set. Efren still got like 3 games, but he really had no chance in that match.
Well, Efren has been shooting craps every waking minute that he's not playing pool, so I'm sure that came into play a little bit. I don't know what the holdup is on our rack. We're looking at other matches.
There we are.
There we go. All right. Okay, I don't make anything, and I think you've got a push here.
I push out here to a shot that I'm hoping.
No, wait a minute, buddy. I decided to take this, don't I?
I pushed out, and you took the shot.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay.
I pushed out to play the exact same shot that you played, but I was hoping that you would let me have it because there was a possibility that you could rub off of the 8 with the 1 and leave it close to the hole up there.
Right.
So it was pretty gutsy to go ahead and take this shot, but still, I would rather take it than you take it.
Well, that's kind of the way I felt about it. Of course, you're a great safety player anyway. And one of the things I've learned over the years is to ask yourself, well, what's he going to do if I give it to him? And if you don't like the end result, if he executes it well, you better take it.
Right.
But see, you don't have to sell out even if you hit the 8 here, right?
Right, because you've got 3 blockers out there. But you hit that as well as it could be hit.
Well, that's
Okay,
just about
a picture-perfect pool shot right there.
For aspiring good safety players, that's really what you want to do with that. I had a big area over there. I got a 6-inch area on the side rail that I can hit and be okay.
Right. The shot was missing the 8. Missing the 8 in good cue ball speed.
Sure. I don't remember what happened. Oh, you went around.
I went around it.
Okay, I remember here that I've got to get a good angle on the 2 ball because the 3 is in the middle of the table, and I don't want to go into the 4 ball because the 4 goes. So, and that's another good point too for folks who want to learn to play good position. When the ball is hung up in the pocket, the closer you can get to it, the easier it's going to be to handle. So anyway, I decided to go 1 rail and go towards the ball.
You remember what I was thinking around this time right here? You have any idea what I was thinking right about here?
No, huh?
The memory of that 11-0 comeback
that
to
wasn't
me.
going to happen. That'll only happen once in a lifetime.
It crossed my mind. It crossed my mind.
Once in a lifetime, perhaps that'll happen. I was real happy with the way I hit that. I like that nice natural 2-rail route. 1 rail is absolutely wrong in my opinion. Now I've got a perfect angle. All I got to do is slide up for the 5 here.
You know, this ball dips a little bit there.
Yes,
I mean,
it
that's
does.
dangerous because you could have actually went in the side on that shot.
Yeah, I saw somebody scratch yesterday on a shot like that. Now here, I don't want to take any chance of missing the 5, so I cheated just enough to get the cue ball out a little bit.
And see, there's one of the advantages of playing everything to the corner pockets. You get the perfect angle to just draw your ball lightly, and now there's no problem.
And here, this is hard to mess up here. I can get almost any kind of angle I want on the 8 ball.
But you happen to get the perfect angle here.
Well, I didn't like this angle. It wasn't lying right to draw it straight back. I decided to come long.
Right, I like it like that, though. I like having to go to the rail and come out. About the only way you can mess up there is hit the ball too full and not come off the rail.
Right. Or hit it too hard and scratch 1 rail or something. Okay, the score is 3-0. I think, if I remember right, you're fixing to win a few games in a row. I don't remember exactly what happened.
Well, I can see I won't wear that shirt again.
I won't wear that shirt again.
Yeah,
Mike.
a little of my back is showing there when I stretch.
Well, I don't know that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
Some of the ladies, look how much of their bodies they show. They might look for that. Okay, let's see. I don't make anything here, do I?
No.
No. All right, you might describe your thoughts. I think the 2 is on the far end rail.
It is. I played this shot to hit the side rail, side rail, side rail, and back. I played 3-rail position off of this shot because I wanted to hit it good and firm. That left me a nice angle.
And that's the 3, I believe. That's
right here.
Yeah.
The 4's down there with it, I believe. I got on the right side of it. Pardon me?
I remember in the course of this match, you made some excellent runouts where there were a lot of balls on the rail.
This shot here, I was really concerned about the 5 to the 6 here. But where, had I been thinking properly, instead of coming straight up, I would actually come over this way a little bit. But this, I moved the 9 here.
Right, that's, now notice, folks, he would have had to either play a combination or play the 8 up the long rail, which is not so easy to get on, had he not moved the 9. I thought that was a good choice. Notice he's going nowhere near the side. That's the right way to play full. Now this shot here, again, he won't want to go anywhere near the side. That's really the only way you can mess it up is go on the side.
Here I actually got a little too straight on the 7. But I had to accept, I ended up with a real long shot on the 8. Here I had to hit this shot with force, but with a little spin. And I let up on it a little bit.
Well, this is a hard shot. I've always thought this is one of your better shots anyway. But the cue ball, I believe, is either a little light or playing a little light, and follow shots or just above center shots are a little harder.
See, I let
now
up
you got
on
spin on it.
Yeah, I let up on it just a little bit though. Didn't quite get out far enough. But with these pockets, they're soft enough to where you can play this with a good speed here.
Sure. Well, you make a very nice shot on this 8, and I want everybody to take note of the fact that you wouldn't even consider going into the 9. That would not be correct. 1, 2, and especially like Buddy suggested, on an easy table, this should not be a difficult shot. And notice that he'll hit this with just a slow medium speed, no harder than is necessary. I see a lot of guys blast that shot, Buddy.
Yeah. I like to hit it hard enough to be correct.
Sure.
But not too hard to, if I'm a little off, you miss the ball.
Okay, the score is 3-1. And as I recall, neither one of us were making the corner ball during this match.
Right.
Really, I kind of prefer that. It adds a little play to everything. And that corner ball, or 2 of them, go slamming in the pockets. It's hard to even get to the table. What a nice shot of the rack there. All right, now I remember this shot here. I make a nice shot. I play the 1 to hit the left side of the 4, and I'm going to play the cue ball to get back behind these balls.
Right.
Because I can't push. I thought about this for a minute because I thought about pushing, but I couldn't see any place I could push and have an advantage. I'm not going to hit this hard.
Right, this is a hard shot to execute here. You hit it perfectly.
Well, that's one pocket, though. That comes up a lot playing one pocket.
Right. Now here, I was trying to come right across the top of the ball.
Well, you made a pretty good shot here, I thought. And I'm not happy in retrospect with what I did. I could have played this a number of different ways, and I decided to lag this ball, thinking that I've got a good chance to snooker you if I happen to not make it. And the 2 and the 6 are over on the far left rail there. And if I make it, I'm going to have a perfect angle on the 2 ball. But these are hard shots to lag.
Yeah, and then when it came my turn, I decided to bank the ball. I had a pocket to bank it in, and I hit it a little thickly here, and I just grazed the 9. And the 1 went in anyway, so I was very fortunate on this shot. I couldn't decide whether I wanted to hit the side rail and go to the end rail and come down behind the 2, which would have been a good way to play it. I think I ended up elected to just hit a center ball and come across the top of the 2 just a little bit.
A little harder shot, I think.
Right. See, I rubbed the 9 with it. I hit this ball.
Okay, at any rate, you're in pretty good shape here. That's the 3 ball. No, that's the 7 ball, I think. By where
I
your
believe
hand
that's
is.
the.
Is that the 3?
I believe that's the 3. Yeah. I wanted to try to get straight in on the 3 because I could just stop for the 4.
Right.
And have an almost straight in shot to shoot it to 5. I had to cheat to hold just a little bit on this one, on that one, in order to stay straight in on the 4. Now here I overhit this shot a little bit. The table leans to the right a little bit. It leans to that rail a little.
Well, I remember this. You got much straighter in on the 5 than you wanted.
Right.
And you make a terrific shot here. Why don't you tell everybody how you hit this kind of shot? Because you're going to get 1,000 of these playing 9.
Well, I hit it with almost a dead center high ball. I used maybe a third of a tip of left English.
Would you describe this as similar to the 7 ball shot you had a rack ago?
Well, right, but the difference is here is I don't have the distance that I had before. The pocket's much closer. And I was just trying to hit it to drop the speed, just to drop below the side just a little bit.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot.
That shot there, I'm also worried about going into the side. on that particular shot.
Well,
Now I had to come all the way across the table to play the 7 over here because it had no pocket there but the 8. And that was another concern when I was shooting the 5. If I get straight in on the 6, I'm dead.
Sure. Now here I remember you draw this over to the side rail and back over, and I think that's absolutely correct too. You take no chance of running into any balls.
I just want to make sure I don't overhit this. Just in and out.
Well, you like a little angle on the 8
Right,
anyway.
in and out.
Nice natural 2-rail position. And as soon as you pocket the 9, it's going to be 3-2. Now the balls seem to freeze pretty well. I just let them settle, push them up, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
But as I remember, we didn't have much success pocketing the corner ball.
No.
A good shot of you preparing to break. There you made the 1 straight in the
The
side.
1 ball went in the side. There
Yeah,
I was,
I remember
putting a little body English on it, leaning a little.
Well, I've told our viewers that you on occasion have massed an object ball with body English. That's the truth. I saw you curve one around 2 balls once. At any rate, you're in pretty good shape here. You play this off of that ball there.
Right. Played it off of it, trying to stay just a little to the left of a straight in angle on the 3 because the 4's down here on the end rail. I ended up where I had to roll this ball. I don't like that shot.
Nobody does, but you executed this perfectly. I remember the shot.
I had to roll it with a touch of spin. I don't like shooting that shot that way. Now here I elected to go 2 rails because the angle that I had here to come into the end rail and straight into the 5, I didn't like that. But I figure if I could come in sharp 2 rails using the end rail and the side rail over by the 6, then I could come up and have a good chance of having an angle on the 5. I think I ran into the 8 ball here. There's a sharp angle. Now see, it came a little longer than I anticipated there. And I ended up with a shot, but...
Well, again, going towards the 8, just like the shot that I had, you'd have had to have been somewhat unlucky to not get a shot.
I feel that way too. Now here again, you got the big pocket so you can hit it with a nice speed. Almost overhit it.
Well, you've got a nice angle here, though. This is just right.
Here, my son sharked me a little bit.
He did.
Yeah. Nathaniel was sitting right down here at the booth, and he was kind of moving around a little bit and stuff, so I immediately sent my wife after him after that shot. Because I was trying to come all the way across and shoot the 7 in the upper left-hand corner, and I hit the 6 so full that I was very fortunate to even make it.
Well, it's noteworthy what you decided to do here. You decided to draw it with low left thickness and go over to the side rail. You'd like to have a little angle on the 8
I
anyway.
come 2 rails out of the corner here.
Right. This is a great position shot, and you want the angle on the 8 anyway.
Right.
So it's really pretty foolproof. That's a lot better than hitting it with follow.
Yeah, I believe so. See, that's where I told her to go get Nathaniel. My nerves were a little on edge here.
And again, 2 natural rails, and the score is forthwith going to be 3 apiece. And to this point in the match, it's been well played. I don't know that, let me think a minute. Well, no, it hadn't been that well played. I missed 2 1 balls, and you missed a 5 ball. I think that's about the extent of it. I don't believe there's been any position errors to this point in the match.
I remember there, the 7 looked like it rocked a little bit, but When I got down there to look at it, everything was frozen. There's some people when you play, you don't have to worry too much about them giving you the slug. So you don't have to really concentrate on the rack that much. Just get to play pool, you know.
Sure. Okay. I remember, that's my dad sitting across the way with Troy Conister, too.
Is that your father?
Yeah.
Well, I wish or did they get a close-up of him? I'd like to see him. Did they know him?
No, Pat knows him. We can do that later on in the match. I remember studying this. It didn't look to me, I'm right over these two balls by the spot, and the two balls in the middle of the table pretty much, and I didn't think I could hit this and get around the 7. So I look at it 2 or 3 times and decide to stay inside of the 7.
Now, that's a great shot, too, because if you hit this ball a little full on a new cloth here, the ball will have a tendency to keep trying to roll forward after it hits the rail, and it gives it a killing action, and sometimes you can end up behind the 7.
Sure, and what if I hit the 7? I sure don't want to do that.
Right.
Looked to me like I could get up anywhere close to this ball and be okay.
Right, you came out nice. Well, if you had hit the 7 from that side, you would still had a side pocket shot on the 2.
Yeah.
See, so there was a lot of advantages to playing that shot that way.
Now that's a 4-9 by the spot, and it would only go in the lower right-hand corner. I recall that rather vividly, so it was important to me to get a good angle on the 3. And I look at this, I looked at it a couple of times. I didn't want to go 2 rails here because it gives me not an angle I want here. I like to play this shot 2 rails, but I have to get on the 5 ball next, and the 4 is too far up in the middle of the table for me to go a natural 2 rails to get on the 5.
Right, it gives you an off angle.
Right, and it looked to me like I didn't have any follow or draw shot to get on it if I got a wrong angle, so I decided to go 1 rail here.
Which is at the exact perfect way to play it. Wouldn't you have liked, was you trying to drop down a little farther, or was that where you were trying to get?
No, I wanted to be a little farther. I make a nice shot here because I get perfect on the 5 ball. And I'm in good shape here. Now it's pretty much a shoot and stop proposition.
Yeah, you played that shot. You played a perfect speed. You played a perfect speed to the 5 ball. That was really a great execution.
Well, I didn't have any natural angle to get on the other side of the 5. And that's another position shot I think people overlook a lot. Now here all I got to do is make the ball. I remember this. I get lower than I mean to.
Yeah, you drop down under it a little bit.
All right, yeah. All right, now here's a shot. I agonize over this type of shot sometimes. I could bank this ball, but if I bank it, I'm going to lose almost every game that I don't make it.
You overcut this shot a little bit, I remember.
I overcut it, but look where the cue ball ends up.
Right.
Now, if you look at the speed I shoot this, if I don't make it and I don't catch that point,
it's a tough shot.
This is a very hard shot.
All right. I remember well.
Now, you were standing in my way. I was sitting down. I couldn't see how you hit it, so I'll learn something here.
I just try to hit this shot with just a touch of left-hand English and try to go right at the spot. Just a touch of left. I call it helping.
I'll tell you what, you hit that pretty well.
I call it helping English.
I'll bet you didn't miss that ball 1/100 of an inch. At any rate, I'm elated after not playing very good position on the 9 ball to be leading 4-3 at this point.
I was thinking when you shot the 8 there, a lot of times you'll go ahead and play this ball in the side, but knowing that you have a pocket the size that you have up there in the corner. See, we know that the shot all you have to do is just hit and stick if you play it in the side. But compared to the pocket that you can shoot at up at the other end, it's a much tougher shot to go at the side than it is the corner.
Yeah, but see, my mistake there was in getting a bad angle on the 7. There's no excuse for that. All I have to do is not get roughly straight in on the 7. I mean, I had a perfect angle on the 6. I can stay above the 7 or go below it.
Right.
Just don't get straight in. And I got an angle. That very nicely shows my wrinkles. Thanks, Pat.
That's a good picture of you, Grady. It shows that you're...
Well, it's always an honor to compete against a buddy
Well,
Hall.
I
We play,
enjoy
and
when we play, Grady. Every time we play, it's always a close match. It seems to be always a close match, and they're well fought matches.
now, buddy, I make a great shot here. I remember this. I look at this 2 or 3 times because it doesn't look like I can hit enough of the one to leave you safe. And I considered 2 or 3 push outs, but there's not really a good place to push out. So I really curved this cue ball a little bit. I put right English on it, but I also have to have draw to keep it behind the 8.
Right.
And I didn't. I took a little chance here because I came very close to contacting the 8.
Looked to me like that you chopped it a little in order to get the one a little fuller.
A little, yeah, right. And also I had to have just kind of a little nip draw stroke because I want the draw to take quickly. And it's hard to draw a shot like this as easily as I hit this because I don't hit this very hard.
People don't realize how much control it takes. Say, for instance, you have to go from one end to the other. You have to spin the ball hard, but you have to roll the ball soft. They don't realize what kind of touch it takes in order to hit the ball to make it spin hard, but roll soft.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Anyway,
it's
here's the end result, and I don't remember how you elected to go with this.
Oh, I kicked crossways at it and missed it. And I felt at this time that I was being picked on by the crowd.
Well, this is a tough kick anyway. When you're that close to the rail, it wants to lengthen out.
Yeah.
Oh, you came a hair short.
Yeah, I came underneath it.
Now, I remember here that I don't get where I want to on the, I wanted to get straight in on the 4. The 4 is by the right-hand far corner pocket. And if I get straight in on the 4, then I can just roll forward a little bit and I can shoot the 5. I don't want to play the combination. And, okay, I remember what I did here. See, I played to stay right on the side rail here, and I came out a little too far and got a little straighter in than I meant to.
Yeah.
I just want to lay it right in there, maybe an inch off the rail or something.
Right.
Now I don't get far enough out to get straight in on the 4. I tried to punch it out there. I didn't quite do it. Now, I could go into the 5, but I don't want to go into the 5. I could hit the right-hand side of the 5. I decide the combination should be makeable, but I don't hit it hard enough.
Right, you just understroke this a little bit, but you have a tendency to do that because it's kind of a pinch draw. You have to draw it straight, but you don't want to draw it far.
Right. Now, I've learned how to make this shot over the years. I make sure to overcut the combination a little bit because there's a natural tendency to want to hit it too thick.
Right. It's a great observation there.
Now, I make a good shot here. This is not a shot I like. I have to lag this in with right English. And I'm not crazy about this shot. I would rather have had the 5 lying a little differently.
Another time where the corner pockets were the advantage to playing to the corner pocket.
Sure. But this is an angle I've liked all my life. There's not much problem with this. You just turn this in with a little outside English just below center ball, and I'm going to go ahead 5-3. Yeah, that was Troy Chronister going hubba hubba. That bothered you a little bit.
What bothered me was when he said, "Get him, Grady."
Well, Troy
The
doesn't.
hubba hubba, it was the "Get him, Grady." He said
doesn't
that
mean
twice in a row.
He doesn't mean anything.
You know, I
by
found
that.
out he was betting $20 on me that match.
Is that right?
So I did.
There's my dad. I'm saying something to him there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I remember. That's when I go over and tell Troy not to say
ask
hubba
him,
hubba.
Yeah, you asked him to let up a little bit, and I appreciated that.
Well, you remember playing in my pool room. I wouldn't allow people to even say nice shot.
Yeah, I think I've met your dad before.
Oh, sure. Sure you have.
Now, here's a shot that is a tough shot to hit. You have to hit this with a draw stroke. Here's one of those. You have to hit it with a hard, low right, but you have to hit it soft. You have to hit it hard, low right, but you have to hit it soft speed.
Yes, you made a very nice shot there. That's a lot harder than it looks. Okay, I think the 3 is kind of.
I elected to play position down the corner because of where the 4 was. I ended up tough on the 4 and had to hit it with the left hand. Here I nipped a 7. I think I can miss the 7, but I ended up nipping the 7. I was trying to come to the side rail and back across and play the 4 in the lower left-hand corner. But when I hit it, I must have hit the 3 just a little too full, and I nipped the 7.
Well, that's pretty easy to do, especially if the cue ball is a little bit light.
Yeah. See, I nipped a 7, ended up above it.
I remember this shot, buddy. You make this shot left-handed, and I stress all the time to beginning players how important it is to learn to shoot a little bit opposite-handed. I looked at it, and I thought you were going to play safe. And you go up and down the table here so perfectly. I mean, it's a beautiful shot here. This is not an easy shot. That's a smooth stroke left-handed. Now, you ended up with a perfect angle here.
Perfect
where all
to
you
get on the
do
6.
all you have to do is punch forward a little bit. Now, that was a very nice shot. And you got perfect here to get on the 7. And I thought you might go over and play the 7 in the corner. Just lay the ball in the rail.
I would, but the point, the 7's laying almost right on the point, is the reason that I didn't. I had thought about that.
And at any rate, you're in great shape here because the 7 goes in the side. And now I think this is real important. People overlook this. You could even stop the ball and have a nice shot on the 9, so you're not going to risk trying to overdraw that or anything. Just a nice, easy stroke.
Just touch it back a couple inches.
Right. And our score is now 5-4. This is a nice tournament. This is the 15th tournament here at the Sands Region or Sands Regency. I don't know which.
Region. Well, so.
But the folks out here are awfully friendly.
Barbara Woodard does an excellent job trying to keep all these pool players happy.
Oh, sure, and that's not an easy task.
She's the only girl I ever saw that could do it with a smile. Sure. She keeps everybody happy, smiling and telling them everything will be all right.
All right, you made a ball here, a corner ball, one of the few times in the match either one of us does it, and you're in good shape because the 2 is by the right-hand lower corner pocket. And I remember you lay the cue ball ends up right on the rail, but it's no particular problem. Yeah, you're in good shape here. All you really have to do is make the 1. And that's 3. I can't tell if the 3 win or the 7 win. I don't know which ball.
The 3 is in the side pocket. Is there at the side pocket? This shot I didn't like because the table has a tendency to come this way. So I hit it out just a little bit with a flat ball and just playing a kind of a, there. It's kind of a draw follow. You turn it back just a little bit to slow it down, but it gives you you get down table far enough without it bending on you.
Right. Well, what that shot really does, I call that a kind of a drag draw stroke. It enables you to hit a little bit harder and achieve a slower speed.
Right.
At any rate, you're in pretty good position here. You've got a nice angle on the 4. And again, you can do about what you want to here. All you got to do is draw this back a little bit. I can't tell how much
I
angle.
come across on it, I believe.
Okay, well, you got a little angle there then.
Now here, thank God for big pockets again. It's the type of shot that you can hit a nice soft speed, hit 2 rails, and come out with an angle to come 2 rails for position on the 9. Hard to go wrong here, but the only thing to go wrong here is you can draw it in the side pocket,
Yeah, but it's a nice natural angle.
Right.
Now you're in good shape here. You can go 1 or 2 rails. Probably go 2. I kind of prefer
the 2.
that. And notice the reason the 2 rails is better is because his cue ball is going towards the next ball. He's got a big long position line and a big margin of error.
I stress that a lot in my teachings. When you hit the second rail, you have position all the way to the ball.
Sure.
So as soon as you hit the second rail, you're in line.
Sure.
And it just depends on how far you go as to
Well, one
how
of the
much better
things,
shot you have.
one of the things I point out to people that the thing that separates great players from very good players is the percentage. A great player will never miss a 2-ball run out like that. I don't know that I've ever seen you miss a 2-ball layout like that.
No.
And if you go one rail, every great once in a while you're going to mess it up.
You'll come over it or not come down far enough.
Right.
You'll come past your line.
Sure.
Or not get to your line.
There's a lot of bad things can happen, even though it seems like a very simple shot, and most of the time you will get position. All right, we're tied up 5 games apiece. You might scratch here. I remember there was a couple of times you scratch. No, you made a ball here. Oh,
Have I
remember
scratched
this.
yet on the break? Have I scratched
No,
yet?
but you get a bad roll here. You get a bad roll, and then you get a good roll. You're going to get a bad roll in that you scratch here when it doesn't look like you can. I like the safety that you decide. You're going to try to put me down behind the 5 and 8, and you scratch, and I still wonder how the heck you scratch. The good roll you get here is that you put the 1 where I can't make it.
It comes right on top of the 7.
Comes right on top of the 7. But certainly this was a well thought out safety because it's pretty hard to go wrong.
I knew I was going to scratch right there.
Well, maybe there was. There obviously had to be room there. It didn't look like there was.
I know the ball turns in that way a little bit. I didn't know it until I was about that far from the 5, and then I seen the possibility of going right in the hole, and it looked like I was a favorite to do it, and went right in.
Now I'm going to look at this a couple of times to decide which side I want to shoot this from. And I remember I left you a 1-rail kick, which I thought by shooting from the side I first looked at that I might keep that from you. And I try to move the cue ball as far to my left as I can here. That's a nice close-up.
The only reason that I had a shot on this is you overhit the 1 just a hair, and the 1 came high.
Right.
That left me a possibility to come 1 rail across to the 6, across the top of the 6. I mean, I could have kicked long rails up and back, but I don't like that. I don't like that kick. I'm not
tough.
real accurate with that shot. But the close kick, like 1 rail straight across like that, you can almost hit the side of the ball that you want to hit.
Well, this is a better way to kick because if you hit either side of the 1, unless you happen to go in the side pocket off of it, either side of the 1, you've got a great chance to get safe here.
I think I hooked you on this shot.
You hooked me and I snookered you back.
Huh.
And then I believe, well, we'll talk about that in a moment, but you make the 6 in the side.
Come to this side of it. I was fortunate there. But I had a lot of traffic down there if I could hit this side of the 1.
All right, this is not an easy hit. I make a good shot here. I get a little lucky to snooker you back here. Now, when you look at this, I thought that you tried to make the 1 off the 6 in the
I was
side.
trying to make the 1 off the 6. I ended up making the 6.
Right.
I was trying to play the 1 off the. I don't see any safety here. So what I'm trying to do is just hit it firm and try to hit it square enough to where the 1 comes off the side of the 6 toward the pocket.
No, there's no good safety because the ball is too far off of a rail.
So I try to give myself every chance that I can to make something here. The best safety from here is get lucky and make 1.
Well, we'll talk more about that later in the match. I think the rules are despicable, but that's neither here or there.
No. There's a lot of strategy in when to try to luck 1 in. See, the 6 went right in. I was actually playing the 1 at the left-hand side pocket.
Okay, now if I remember correctly, you make a nice shot here.
I turn it. I come in 2 rails inside the 2 and try to come up to play the 2 in the side, in the right-hand side. I play it 2 rails under on the right-hand side of the 2 and come out to play it into the right-hand side. I hit that shot really well, I thought.
Yeah, that's what I say. You made a nice shot there. That's not an easy execution. Okay, now you're in good shape here. And this is a 3-ball, I think, is it not? Yeah. Oh, you got a choice here. I don't remember.
I tried to get straight in on the 4 so I could just back it up a couple inches. I got almost straight in. I was trying to get straight in on the 4.
Now look at this 2-rail angle again, right towards the 4-ball. Very high percentage. Now he just wants to get an angle on the 5 to come out 1 rail, I suspect, for the 8.
Right. I play it with a low right cue ball. Here again, you spin it hard and hit it easy.
Right, right. And you made a, kind of a rough run out look rather easy. And no particular problem here.
I didn't hit this shot really as hard as I wanted to hit it. I ended up with a long shot on the 9, but I held the line on the 9. I was actually trying to come back another foot or so. I backed it up here about a foot, but I was trying to bring it back a couple feet, 3 foot. So I just backed it up a little bit, but I held the line on the 9. It's really hard to go wrong with.
Right, it's hard to mess this up on it. These pockets are pretty forgiving. At any rate, it's going to be 6-5 your favor.
Boy, I'll tell you, I didn't realize just how important these player review tapes were, but these give you a lot of unforeseen knowledge.
Oh, sure.
I mean, these are very, very good products here for a teaching aid.
Sure. When I do clinics or schools or seminars, one of the things I stress is the proper way to think. And certainly these are very beneficial towards thinking correctly. All right, now there's a scratch. Now I remember that the 2-ball is, I can't tell for sure what the 2-ball is. Well, we'll know in a moment here. Okay, I think it's the ball to the left of the spot pretty much, yeah. Now I didn't mean to get this kind of angle. Let's see. Oh, okay. All right, I'm all right here.
Yeah.
I get a nice angle, and here's a position play I like a lot. I know I can miss a 9-ball here and follow down to the end rail and have a nice angle on the 4.
All right.
And I would rather do that, even though I could have drew it. I just think that's easier.
That's proper. That's the proper way to play that.
Sure.
That's sound, basic, error-proof.
Right,
Cool.
no way to mess it up.
The only way that you can mess it up, there's a shot again where when you're playing on a new cloth and the balls are a little dusty or something,
Sure.
that it can skid on you, maybe
Right.
hop on you or something, and you would stick with a cue ball or something like that. But it's really freaky for you not to. If everything goes according to Hoyle the way it's supposed to, then that's error-proof.
Sure. I decided to go to the end rail here because I'm a little straighter in than I meant to, and I actually fall a little shorter than I want to, but this is okay.
That's the proper way to play that shot.
Now I like going 2 rails here. I teach this
I do
here
too.
too. 2 rails towards the 9, again, virtually foolproof. That's hard to mess up.
I do too. I play the second rail. I play the second rail and teach the second rail.
All right, we're tied up 6 apiece. Okay, I don't remember what happens on the break here. Well, I could hear myself say that. Pat must have some audio there by the table.
You made 3 balls on that break.
Right, I sure did.
I asked you before because the way the ball settled that particular time, I asked you, are you sure it's all right? Because I wasn't sure about it.
I make a really good shot here, and I thought I made that ball. It was lying to where it looked like I'm going to scratch if I hit it with any speed off the back of that 7 ball. And I really thought I made that ball. It was kind of tough to overcut, and the cue ball was frozen on the rail, so I did the best I could. I was not unhappy with the way I hit it.
Yeah.
Even though I hung it up.
That shot there, I just try to play to get straight in. If you get straight in there, everything's shoot and stop.
Sure. And you did so very nicely.
Everything in the rest of this rack is just shoot and stop. Maybe back it up an inch or something on the 5. But I think I just stop, shoot the 7, pull it back just a little for the 9.
Yeah, you're in great shape here. No trouble here. And again, a nice 100% way of getting out. Perfect angle on this 7 ball. You can just kind of punch this out 1 rail, and you're going to go ahead 7 to 6. It's been a pretty good match all the way.
Yes, it has.
I think we might have some fun doing commentary on these matches later on this week too, just because the corner ball doesn't seem to go flying in on this.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had one tournament, it went, if you'll recall, 28 out of 29 times or something. I hear you get a bad roll and kiss off and scratch. Okay. Now that's the 3-7, kind of sandwiched between the 5-9, and I make a nice run out here because I look at this and study it, and I decide finally to not try to shoot the 2 in the long corner because I can get away with, if I have to cheat the pocket by shooting it in the short corner. So I decided to just follow this out.
Yeah, I think that's the proper way for you to play it.
Now I get a good angle on this, and what I got to do is be careful not to overdraw this. That's a perfect angle because I'll snooker myself if I overdraw it, and I can't really risk getting straight in. So I'm looking to see what the cue ball is going to do after it hits a 7. And it looks to me like I might catch the 9. Main thing, I want to make sure I come down far enough to not make it tough to make.
Right,
And
you played it at a speed where if you do catch the 9, you're still going to have a shot.
Right. And actually, I don't come out quite as far as I want, and that ball almost snookered me. But here's where I make a good shot.
Yeah.
This is, especially with a light ball, I have to load this up with inside English and go 2 rails, because I can't go 1 rail.
Well, you hit it well.
That's a hard shot.
It is a hard shot.
Now this one, I really wanted to draw it a little farther than I did. But I'm okay here. I got where I can shoot it in the corner.
There you go, playing everything at the corners. And you'd be amazed at how many times just play to the corner instead of trying to play to the side because the side's closer to you.
Right.
Straight pool players have a tendency to make errors playing 9-ball because they play the side pockets too much.
Sure. Now there, I go 1 rail and towards the 9. I don't care if I'm a hair below it.
Right.
And we're going to be tied up at 7 games apiece. Now this next game is really traumatic for me. This could cause me nightmares for a long time. Everybody knows that I believe that it should be call shot anyway. I mean, it's an honor almost to lose to a great player like you, buddy, and we're good friends. But I don't like to lose when a guy rats a ball in. Now, from this juncture where it's 7 games apiece, you're going to get lucky on the 1 ball and 3 rail it. You're going to run out that game. Then you're going to break and run out, and you're going to go ahead 9 to 7 after missing a ball.
Yeah.
Now, as I recall here, now here I make a ball, I'm going to play you. No, I'm not either. You know, I might have. I tried to make this ball, and I hit it badly. All right. Now, that being the case, maybe I deserved this. I don't know.
I jumped over this ball here.
Well, I've never been defeated quite like this. I know you jumped it. This ball is going to come down and double out of the corner and go in the far left-hand corner. But what I would like to know is why my opposition always has to have a shot on the next ball when they do this. I mean, all of my life I've been playing, I've never lost a game quite like this. I mean, it looks like maybe once in a while the guy'd be snookered, maybe.
Right. I made a good shot here. I come off the side of the 8 with a little inside English and come down to the right-hand side.
True. You do make a nice shot here. In fact, from this point in the match, you play, well, not that you haven't already been playing very well, but you play exceptionally well the rest of the match. In fact, I'm not sure, I don't think you miss another ball.
Here, I would like to have been able to play 3 rails, but I couldn't because of the 6. So I had to hit this a little thinner than I wanted to and just lag it. I ended up straight in on it. But this shot here coming up, I've improved on this shot in the last year.
Well, the cue has a lot to do with it.
Right. I can draw this ball a lot easier than I used to be able to, and I can draw it with a little better control. I actually get the angle, a little over angle on it, but I draw it to an angle.
Very nice. And we might as well give Leonard a little plug. You and I both play with the Leonard Bloodworth cue.
Right. I overhit it just a hair.
Yeah, you're not happy with this because it looks to me like you're going to have to roll this ball, and the 8 could even come into play. And as I recall, you came within a fraction of getting behind the 8.
I bumped the 8, but I had to roll it, and I knew I was going to go right at the 8. But like you say, there, about the only way to get hooked on that's hit about a third of the 8 on the left-hand side of it.
Right. Well, you didn't mean to go quite towards it. I mean, quite hard enough. You'd like to stop right in there or something.
Right. It was a shot to where you had to hit thin. And now here, again, you have the big pocket so you can hit it with a nice stroke and just shoot it at the hole. Play to the outside of a big pocket. The big pocket, you always play a tendency to the outside of the center of it.
Right. Well, really, the only way you can miss a ball if you hit it anywhere near. All right, Mike, I'll try to talk quieter. I'm sorry.
That's why we moved over here a little bit.
Well, I thought I was talking quietly. I guess my voice really carries.
Now, you have a strong voice.
All the better to borrow money with, said you go ahead 8-7. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I know you break and run out here.
Almost scratched there.
Okay, now you're going to play a billiard on this ball, which is absolutely correct. And the 1 ball should go right over on the end rail. Now notice, folks, how easily Buddy's going to play this billiard. He doesn't want the 1 to go hardly anywhere, just over a little bit. Now you make an excellent shot here. It looks to me like you're closer to straight in than you want to be. Now I'm sitting in the chair and I'm thinking, well, if he's straight in, he can't get on the 2 ball here.
I hit this shot hard and loaded up with a lot of spin because I think that I'm going to have trouble getting the trajectory that I need. But I actually got it a little too long and nipped the top of the 5. I was trying to just hit it hard enough to come in about the diamond there and then come across. But the way it was, had I not touched the 5, there's no telling where I would have ended up because I ended up getting a lot of speed out of it when I was almost straight in on it.
Sure. But this is a tough shot. almost straight in. That's why you have to hit it hard to get the cue ball to have enough.
Now see, I came way long on it and nipped to 5. See, I was trying to come in higher here.
Sure. Okay, this is one of your better shots anyway. I've always liked the way you hit this shot. You don't shoot it hard. And you're in pretty good shape here. This is kind of a little punch shot. Actually, since you have to play it in the corner, you really have about an ideal angle.
Right.
Okay, now this.
See, I like putting my hand out in the table. A lot of people use the rail there.
Again, 2 rails.
I fell short. Now here, the angle that I'm coming off the 6 and where the 8's setting is setting a little to the right-hand side of the center of the table. I didn't want to take a chance on going up to the end rail. So I slow rolled this in with a little bit of spin and just tried to lag up there for position on the 8.
Well, I love the way you played that because, again, you don't really want to be straight in on the 8 anyway.
Right. Here, I just punch it over a little bit. It's really hard to go wrong on this shot.
And just like that, you're going to go ahead 9 games to 7.
I think I scratch again this break.
You might, I don't remember.
I was having a lot of trouble with the break because the cue ball kept moving. The cue ball was moving on me a lot. I must have been raising up. I was a little nervous during this match. And when I hit the ball, I had a tendency to jump on the shot, and I was actually raising up a little bit. And when I did, my Q-tip was coming up, and I was losing the cue ball. There I go.
Oh, you got kissed in the pocket. That wasn't really your fault.
Amen.
Huh?
I remember saying, "Oh Lord," I just said amen.
Okay, I believe that's a 2 on the end rail, and I know it passes by the 8 ball or whatever that ball is by the corner. So, no, I've got the balls mixed up here some kind of way. Oh, I remember this.
You play
I
over
played
to the rail. You draw this ball. You draw it to this middle diamond.
Well, I'm
this
not
last
happy with
diamond.
where I got here. I want to get straight in on that 3, and I end up having to do this.
Yeah. So you hit that shot that's a good way to hit that shot. Now you come 2 rails out. You ended up with a little stiffer angle here on the 5.
Well, I want to make sure I make the 4 here, and obviously I don't want to hit that 8.
Yeah. So you underhit it just a little.
Well, it's not a position shot I like because I'm not going towards the ball. Now I remember this because I look at this and I'm not sure I can go around the 6 here.
Right. You ended up hitting it with a draw stroke and knocking the 6 over against this rail.
Well, I tried to go 2 rails around the 6, right? Now this shot, I'm not happy with this shot because if I hit it the way I would like to, I'm going to be snooker behind the 8. That's a 7 by the lower right-hand pocket.
You get safe on this, I think.
I get safe here, and I have to hit it easy like that to make sure I can make the 7, and I didn't like the shot.
Yeah. I remember this too. I tried to kick at it. It looked like I was kicking long enough for it, and it seems like the kicks have been coming off a little sharp, and I just kicked straight in the hole.
Yeah.
Went 1 rail straight in the pocket.
Yeah, they're coming a little short.
I see no future in going this way. I can hit it going that way, but what good is that?
Oh, you can't make it or anything. This way you have a chance to make it or get safe.
You win more games kicking this way than you will kicking that way.
Sure, I agree with you. But I was surprised because I expected you to hit it. In fact, a ball that's lying like that,
there's a high percentage.
You make a lot of them because it's a 2-way shot. It's laying just a little bit off the rail, and you can make it go in 2 rails or straight in. All right, I'm in good shape here. All I really got to do is just that and get about like this on the 8. That's perfect. I don't have any trouble with these 2 balls. And the score is going to be 9 games to 8. And I remember I get it to 9 apiece. But from this, after it gets to be 9 games apiece, I don't think I ever get a shot at the 1 ball. I remember it because I'm really going to lose this match from 2 places where it's next to impossible to push out. I probably should have kicked at both of them. I thought about it after the match, and at least I give myself a chance that way.
Right.
All right, here I remember this. My first urge is to play safe, but I look at this and see I've got an enormous pocket over there. And I think I hit this and don't even need the big pocket. No, I did need the big pocket.
You come down for... See, now here, I thought you would play the 9.
Well, this was lying perfect though, buddy. I've got pretty much 100% snooker play here. In other words, I could do this every single time. I got a lot of stuff to get behind, and really it's hard for me to let you see that ball.
I remember I kicked the 2 in and scratched 2 rails on this shot.
Right. Well, I actually got this object ball in an ideal place because either side of the 2 that you hit, there's a chance of scratching.
Right.
Well, you made a good solid hit on the 2. You just didn't get rewarded for it. And I remember this. I did kind of the same thing you did on your 5-ball position shot early in the match. I want a little more angle than what I get here. And, I mean, on the next ball after the 3-ball, I'm a little straighter in than I want to be here. And I can't hit this now with a high ball without risking hitting the 9. So I decided to go 2 rails.
I like going 2 rails with this.
And anyway, the pockets are enormous, and it's really hard to mess it up. Now here, I have always liked pretty much staying below the ball.
That's perfect. I mean, that's picture perfect. That's exactly the way you're supposed to play that shot.
And I look at this because there are several ways to play, and I finally picked the right way. It takes me a minute to decide it. But I just kind of punch it down. And again, the rail towards the 9. I just love that style of position.
It's hard to go wrong. If you play to the rail, when you hit the rail, you have position.
Sure. All right, the score is 9 apiece. And I remember I don't get many makeable shots from this point in the match. I felt like I was playing real well. Now, you play perfect from this point out. I'm going to win another game, I think, but and when I win the game, I'm going to break them respectively, too. I'm going to make something and end up where I can't even push out, and you're going to run out every time you get a shot. I don't remember exactly what happened here. I made something.
No?
All right.
Here's where I had to curve the cue ball a little bit, just nip it and to come down.
Right. You made a nice shot here.
Came right at the ball, ended up over here. Now here.
Oh, yes, I remember this. Now, here's a game, buddy, where I thought I was decidedly unlucky. You tried to go around the table here and ran into 2 balls and you hooked yourself.
I was trying to just barely miss the 8 so I could come between the 5 and 8. It's the only angle I had.
Now, this is a tough shot.
I have to hit it with a center ball in order to keep it from spinning. Because if I spin, I go right into the 5.
Now, as it happens, you make a nice shot here. You use a lot of right English, and you're going to kick this ball and try to play safe. Okay. Now here, I decided to play a safety here, and I executed this as well as you can execute it. I not only snooker you, but I leave you in a position where there isn't really a safety.
Right, I have to kick to try to make it.
Now this takes a real good touch here, because I need a thin hit on the 3 ball, enough to get it on the other side of the 2-7, but I don't want the cue ball to travel very far.
Right, I have to go up with reverse English and come back into the 2 here.
And I remember thinking about this kick that I was delighted. This is, I mean, I figured I have a shot here.
I had no kick going toward the side. The side pocket had virtually eliminated that. So here all I can do is kick hard.
Okay. Now, I look at this a minute, and I'm looking at one rail on the 3 back to the lower end rail, but I can't do that because I have to hit it too thin, and I can't go back and forth across the table with the cue ball. And what I decided to do is play this 2 rails straight up and down.
I thought you played a great shot.
I made a real good shot.
This shot here is a great shot. Just to think of this shot is a great shot.
This is low left English, and I'm going to end up falling short by maybe an inch or 2. But the line that I got the 3 ball to travel was perfect, and my cue ball line was perfect. I don't want to come close to scratching. I don't have any offensive shot here. And then you make a nice run out, but I was very happy with the way I executed it. Now, if you look at this, if it travels another couple of inches, I've got you.
Yeah, I'm hooked.
But you make a nice shot here. You decide to play the nice natural
2 rails
two
out.
rails.
I just hit this with a center ball, and just paste it at the pocket.
Well, plus you've got a chance to get safe here, maybe if you miss it too. Very nice.
Here I was trying to draw back enough to where I had a slight angle so I could go toward the 6 with the cue ball after the 5, but I ended up straight in on it.
Well, I know your style of play probably as well as anybody in the world, and I know you don't like to be straight in on balls. Right way to play is to get the correct angle every time you can. So anyway, you decide to go ahead and just accept the position you have, especially since they're easy pockets. And this speed is a big factor. You're not going to blast it or anything.
I go 3 rails, I think.
Yeah, but still, you didn't blast it. And again, notice Buddy, as he suggested earlier, played the outside of the pocket. And no special problem here. Just lag it in and take the nice angle on the 8, which you want anyway. And you're going to go ahead in the match 10 games to 9.
Germany. Thanks, Joe.
Okay.
I'm not sure what happens in this next game. I think you win it. We'll know in a moment.
I may have scratched on the break this game.
I don't think that I got it to 10 apiece. I don't know. We'll see.
No, I didn't scratch.
Okay, I remember this shot. I think I decided to try to thin the 1 ball. It looks to me like it's going to be, I can't hit it thin enough to knock it by over there by the 5 ball, so I'm in pretty good shape here. The only question is how long I'll leave it or anything. Actually, I did about as badly as I could have done. I caught it a little too thick.
I remember this shot. The only shot I had here was I shoot the one in, draw the cue ball to the side rail, and try to come just a hair past the center of the table. Then I have a thin cut shot on the
And you went a little too far.
I hit it just a hair too hard.
I don't remember what you tried to do when you come a little too far. I don't remember if you tried to cut it in or...
No, I played the bank. I played the bank on the 2 and the billiard on the 6 at the same time, which I thought was a pretty high percentage shot. I missed the 2 so bad that it made me hit bad on the 6. I ended up playing the 2 straight back and playing the billiard on the 6. I missed them both. See, I overhit it just a hair. I still have a cut shot there if I elected to shoot the cut shot, but the shot that I elected to shoot there I felt like was a much higher percentage shot. I hit this with a high ball. So I overcut the... I just hit it bad.
Oh, I remember this shot. I was really upset here. And I probably should have taken a little more time. I tried to shoot it in the side, and I only had a half a pocket.
Made a combination on the 6.
Yeah, but I scratched. I never luck a ball in a good position. Are you kidding? I just finished the whole tournament. I didn't luck in one ball.
Is that right?
I should have taken a little more time. Shot it in the corner, played safe or something. But when you're on the rail like that and you only got a half a pocket, it's next to impossible to make. Sometimes I really get discouraged when it gets late in the match. It seems like the last couple of years that I never get a shot when it's like that. I watch some of the other guys play, buddy, and honestly, it seems like they get 100 shots.
Now see here, I made a position error here. I was trying to bump the rail just a little bit. I had a ball in hand where I could just come over a little, but I wanted to get a little closer to it this way so I wouldn't have to come back across the table. I wanted to come more at the 4. So then I ended up straight in. But it was straight in enough where the pockets are big enough where I could cheat the pocket and come to where I wanted to come. See, I wanted to be out another inch.
Sure. Yeah, you make a very nice shot there. Now, this is kind of noteworthy. This is absolutely the right way to play this. I was hoping you wouldn't do this, but you played to go 2 rails over, over the 8
I
ball.
had terrible.
No, but you got perfect on the 5 because the 8 doesn't go in the other pocket, and there's no reason to risk shooting a combination. So you decide to go 2 rails here, and that's absolutely correct.
I ended up dead on the rail.
Yeah, but you're still in pretty good shape here. Because the lie of the other balls, really all you got to do is make this. And even if you're dead on the rail and straight in, it's not the end of the world as long as you just roll the ball in. And you made not the easiest rack in the world, look relatively easy.
Came a little closer to the side there than I really wanted to.
Okay, you're going to go ahead now, 11 games to 9. I don't remember if it goes to 12 to 9 or 11 to 10. I'm not sure. broke those well. And I remember this.
It was hooked.
Yeah, you were snookered here.
Pushed out up here. I actually went a little farther than I wanted to. I didn't want to give you a simple across the side as I did. I wanted to just come maybe an inch or so above the diamond here, but I went almost to the second diamond.
Yeah, I remember this. I thought about playing safe, and I said, this is just too good a shot.
Yeah.
And actually where it ended up, I've got a nice angle to go 3 rails and go right between the 2 and 3 and have position for the 2 on the side. Anyway,
Yeah.
good players aren't supposed to pass this kind of shot.
Right. I wasn't happy at all with that push out. I was really kind of aggravated with myself on that.
What I like most about this is that it was natural.
You almost, had you hit that ball solid, that would have been a little bit of a dilemma there.
Yeah.
But like you say, to do that, you would have had to have been very unfortunate.
Okay. Now I'm in pretty good shape here. I can do about what I want. That's the 4 ball on the left-hand side of the monitor, and all I have to do is stop the ball, and I've got an angle to go 2 rails around the 9. And so it's laying absolutely perfect. And then, of course, the 8 and 9, there's no special problem with.
We have a nice sample, Mike Massey. We'll see him Sunday. It's going to be a 6-shot exhibition. Mike, thanks for playing.
I pull that over there. I want to get close to the 8.
That's perfect.
Now I can go 2 rails. I fell a little short here, but it's still a pretty easy shot. Okay, it's 11 games to 10. All right, you're going to win these next 2 games, and I don't know, I break the balls pretty darn well here, and I make a ball, and I got a chance to get in this match, and I feel like I'm playing pretty well, and I get where there's absolutely nothing that I can do.
Yeah, you made the statement after you broke them this time. Just 1 shot at the 9. At the 1. Yeah, shot at the 1, he said.
All right, now this, the way it ended up, the 3 is so close to the side pocket. I mean, I can't push over there and give you a bank. The 1 slides in off the 8 if I put it anywhere up the table.
Right. You pushed me a long ways up here.
Well, I looked at this and looked at it, and I finally decided that if I could get you anywhere close to straight in, you'd have a tough time.
I thought you were trying to actually put me over the ball.
No. The 2 balls on the left-hand side rail, and if you look at this, even though I leave you a big pocket, if I can get it straight in where you can't draw it or follow it,
Yeah.
I've got an excellent chance.
Yeah.
And as it happens, it went a little faster than I thought. I hit it, I thought, with a perfect speed, and it ends up a couple of inches off the rail. And, of course, you've got a big pocket and a slight angle, and that's certainly not what I wanted to do. I just couldn't see any place to put the cue ball here that doesn't leave you a great shot. I mean, I can't leave you across the side bank. I don't want to leave you a billiard on a 3. I don't want to let you slide it in off the 8. And I'm still happy with where I tried to put it. I just didn't quite get it there. Certainly, I wasn't real happy with having to make a decision like this anyway. I wanted to be shooting. I felt like I had a great chance to win the match from this point. I'm going to go down here and look to see if there's one side or the other, if I've got a little leeway. Of course, it's hard to have perfect in-rail speed on a lag such as this.
See, I thought you were actually trying to put me over the ball.
Well, I didn't want to put you over the ball. I want to get it straight in. If I put you over the ball, you're going to give it to me, and I didn't want it. So, anyway, you make a nice shot here. I'm about 4 or 5 inches off the rail. That is not what I wanted to do.
I hit this with really a good stroke here.
You sure did. Yeah, you made a very, very nice shot there. I still think I made the right decision because if you catch the 8 there, there's a lot of bad things can happen too. And now, obviously, I'm hoping for another chance at the table this game, but realizing that that's not likely to occur. Now here you go slightly farther than you want, but you're still all right here.
I had a couple ways I could play this. I elected to go forward on it.
Yeah, this is a matter of individual preference, but going forward, you cannot miss the ball. If you draw that out of there, every great once in a while you miss one. Although I don't know if that's missable on this size pocket. All right, and lacking only these 2 balls, you're going to go ahead 12 games to 10.
I overhit that a little bit, but it's really hard to mess up on that.
Yeah, these are very Cardone-like pockets. All right,
Billion Cardona-sized pockets.
Right. Now, I remember, buddy, how unhappy I am. I'm behind 12 to 10, and this has been going on for 2 years. Now, I got a chance to win this match, and I cannot see the one, and you correct me if I'm mistaken. Where do you push here?
Not fair.
There's, well, you pushed to a hook,
Well, I didn't have any choice.
which I thought you were going to jump it,
Well, maybe I should have.
but you kicked.
Well, I didn't catch it like I wanted, and you run out. But I'm really unhappy that I have trouble getting shots
See,
on the
you're
one.
between the 5 and the 7 there. So I thought that you would see there's not much to jump there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're just going over a portion of each ball.
Well, I shot too fast. I'm mad. I get angry when I never get a shot at the one. Anyway, I just had a news flash that was dropped in the booth by our ever-loving companion, Mr. N. Cardona. He tells me that Jose Perica just bested Earl Strickland in an absolute thriller, 13 games to 12, and that he and Jose are going to do a player review. And if you want to know the right way to play pocket billiards, especially 9-ball, from one of the most knowledgeable players on the tour, that's a tape that it's a must-have tape.
In fact, I want that tape myself.
Well,
Pat
sure.
put me on the list.
Yeah, me too. Well, I learn something every time I watch Jose Perica play anyway.
Jose and Earl are both great players. Jose has such a knowledge of the game. I'm sure that the player review on this, giving us an insight of what he's going to do before he shoots,
Sure.
is going to be very valuable as far as collected data for your perfecting your 9-ball game.
No doubt about it. Well, this was an enjoyable match here. You're going to run the remainder of these balls.
This is pretty simple here. You just bunt, and it's...
And while we're watching you clear off the remaining balls and prepare to accept congratulations, I think it's worth mentioning that this tape, the Perica Strickland tape or any other tape, may be obtained merely by dialing 1-800-828-0397. And if you love pocket billiards, for heaven's sake, support Accu-Stats. They've done everything in the world for the betterment of pocket billiards. And Pat just bought all kinds of gadgetry. I mean, he's got new equipment, the likes of which boggles electronic geniuses.
Accu-Stat Pat. He didn't get that name for nothing.
No, he didn't. And I think it's worth mentioning also, buddy, that Billy and Cardona showed up 2 days late, and it has been so pleasant without hearing his raspy voice. All right, buddy, the score corrected, and it's as big an error as we might expect from Bill and Cardona. It wasn't 13-12, it was 13-5 favor of Jose Perica.
Oh, yeah. Jose doesn't like for his opponents to get very many games.
No, he sure doesn't. Well, the credits are preparing to roll. That means that we're almost at an end, so I think I'll say once again it's an honor, as always, and good luck in the tournament, and I look forward to our next encounter.
Okay, same to you, Grady. By the way, you guys, y'all order this tape. It'd be very beneficial to your 9-ball game. Especially order Jose's and Billy and Cardona's talk over on the match with Jose Perica and Earl Strickland. I'm sure it'll be very beneficial to you in your 9-ball game. Once again, thank you very much, Pat Fleming. Thank you very much for the crowd. Thanks for letting us do the talk over. Bye.
And goodbye.